Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another episode of Inside DB Rated. This is the dual commentary series where you go ahead and spectate random matches on DB's ladder and check out the metagame. So those of you guys who have a bit of a sharp acuity might have noticed that I changed my introduction ever so slightly there, and that's because I'm going to be reverting the series back to kind of its original form, that being the post-dual commentary style, but with both players' hands revealed. I got a lot of comments lately from many of you guys who do have a strong preference for this format, and I totally understand it because it's nice to have that perfect information when trying to kind of assess gameplay and things of that nature. It makes for a good learning experience. So I hear you out. I hear you loud and clear. So we're just gonna go ahead and go back to this style. I did want to experiment a little bit, but totally understand. And we're just going to go ahead and carry on here. So we're going to actually be featuring Nept, who is playing Dragonmaid, versus Wally Dance, who we featured on the channel last week on Drytron. And you guys also let me know that this happens to be Gabriel Susi, who is the European champion from 2019, if I do remember correctly. So super cool to see the higher profile players as well grinding it out on DB ladder as well. But we're just going to go ahead and get started without any further ado. So we're going to see Drytron winning the RPS here, going to opt to start. Very strong, of course. So the opener for the Drytron player is going to be Fafnir, Drytron Delta, Zeta, Herald of Purplelight, and Forbidden Droplet. Interesting to see this make an appearance in the main deck, just because it has utility against certain matchups, but it can be a little bit conditional at times. For example, like Chuche kind of can mess things up in the VW matchup, and then in the mirror, it kind of depends on what other cards back up the Vanity's Ruler, but it does a good job at stopping like the Herald of Ultimate Nest build, so that's something to consider as well. But otherwise, this hand is good as far as comboing is concerned. You got functionally 3 Drytron names. And then for the Dragonmaid player, it's going to be Black Metal Dragon, Double World Legacy Guard Dragon, Dragonmaid Tiding, and Parlor Dragonmaid. So this is also a pretty good hand. 2 normal summons, but it's pretty solid, because this is one of the strongest extenders in this deck as well. Just ending on Seal is just ridiculous in this deck. But yeah, Fafnir going to be activated first in main phase 1. That's going to grab Nova, which will be activated to summon a copy of Alpha from deck. Alpha going to be linked away for a copy of Hcabe, and then going to be attributing the Zeta from hand, Zeta from hand to go ahead and summon itself, and going to search Benten. And then the Benten will be attributed for the Zeta. That's going to search for a copy of Meteor's Drytron, and then the Benten triggers to search for Light Fairy, choice being the Herald of the Orange Light. Kind of interesting to see players still go for this Hcabe play. I do wonder if people are going to shift from that a little bit, just because Bell and Meister is still super popular. So it might be worth trying to route the combos a little bit differently if possible. But then again, there wasn't any alpha to start with, so have to trigger it somehow. So it would have ended up in grave regardless there. Not really too much to say about that. But Zeta is going to go ahead and turn to Relinquish Anima, so we can go into a copy of Union Carrier. It's always preferable to leave a Drytron name, because he could have just used the 2 Drytrons, being Zeta and Alpha, and then leave the Hcabe. But having this extra machine is nice for Meteor's plays, so it's always good to have that there. Carrier is going to go ahead and equip Dawn Knight. And then we're going to see that being tributed away for the Meteor's Drytron. That's going to bring back the Cyber Angel Benten. And then Dawn Knight triggers to dump a copy of Gamma. So he has pretty much all the Drytrons in circulation, like all the best ones. Meteor is going to reduce the Alpha attack by 1000, add itself back to hand. And then the Benten will be attributed for the copy of Gamma in the graveyard. That's going to summon back the Zeta. And then from here, Benten's going to search a copy of Vanity's Ruler, so he is on this build. And you can see there's the Heralds in hand to kind of back that up. Delta is going to tribute away the Alpha next. That's going to reveal the Meteorus to draw 1. The pickup's going to be another Zeta. Not going to be super impactful there, at least for the time being. But Meteorus will be able to tribute away the Delta to bring back the Benten. Then going to tribute summon the Vanity's Ruler over the Benten and the Gamma tributing Benten yet again. And that's going to grab Ava. And then going to set Droplet and pass from there. So this is a Vanity's Ruler plus likely 2 negations, because either of these can be used. And then Ava will just grab more negates, plus Droplet to back it up. So quite strong. Like 3 interruptions plus a floodgate, basically. And it looks like he's just asking what's in hand. Just confirming. Yeah, we do know that these were searched. This was drawn off of the Delta, and this was just in the start of the hand. So that's the only not public knowledge, but that's the only knowledge that was revealed. For turn, we're going to see a top deck Ash. That is unlucky. Right on time. We're going to see Parlor Dragonmaid be normal summoned. And that's going to be negated by the Herald of the Orange Light. So what's interesting actually is that Tiding, if you guys aren't aware, is a double compulse for dragons. And any card your opponent controls or in the grave. So this is actually a native out to Vanity's Ruler. So because he knew that Herald of Orange Light was in hand, I kind of wonder if it was worth just not using the Parlor effect, because he had a way to kind of out it. But then again, it still would have been tough because his opponent would still have all the follow-up. And I kind of doubt this Ash would be alone enough to save him from dying. But it looks like Ava's going to be ashed there. This should still be banished for cost, I do believe. Yeah, you banish for cost for Ava. This got destroyed off the Herald. Alright, they fixed it. It shouldn't matter too much. But gonna set Tiding. And okay, so now that Ash is not even a part of the disruption, I don't even think it would have mattered now if he had a Parlor here. Because you can bounce the Vanity's Ruler, but it doesn't actually matter. Maybe you would at that point just save it for a bigger push, but yeah, it just isn't. I don't think Dragonmaid was ever winning this game, given the setup. So let's see. Alpha going to be tributed away, which was drawn for turn, by the way, for the Alpha in Graveyard. That's going to search for a copy of Ben 10. That is the second copy of Ben 10. Then that'll be tributed away for the Gamma. That's going to summon itself and the other Alpha. Ben 10 going to add the last copy of Ben 10 to hand. Meteorus Drytron adds itself back by reducing the Gamma's attack value. Then going to link away for a Phoenix. Phoenix is going to pitch a copy of Zeta that's going to hit the Tiding, and that'll be the end of game 1. So that's pretty much just Drytron on full display right there. Not too much to kind of dissect, simply because Dragonmaid just didn't open a hand trap until it was drawn for turn, and at that point, just couldn't out the Vanity's Ruler. So we're just going to go ahead and now move on into game number 2 here. We're going to go ahead and see Dragonmaid opt to go first. If you guys are enjoying this commentary, definitely be sure to leave a like in the video and consider subscribing if you're new here and enjoy this style of video. But we're going to see Dragonmaid's opener be Dragonmaid Tiding, Ash Blossom, Super Poly, Lorpar, and Chamber. Interesting to see this make the main deck. Or maybe sided it in for this matchup. I'm curious what the targets are going to be. But this does help make some of the Dragonmaid fusions since they are somewhat generic. So that's pretty cool. I wonder how this is going to pan out throughout the match. And then for Drytron, the hand is Fafnir, Ash Blossom, Herald of Perfection, Cyber Angel Natasha, and the Manju. So I do wonder if he's on the pre-prep build with this, with Dawn of the Herald and stuff. Because Dawn of the Herald's a really good value ritual spell. But otherwise, Herald of Ultimateness does a lot of the same things that this does. Simply because the Drytron attack values don't make a difference for that. But we're going to see the Dragonmaid player fire off this Chamber Dragonmaid. That's going to get ashed. This is one of your starters, but that could have gotten maybe a Hospitality to end on Seal, which is always really strong, because you can seal at the start of the battle phase, bounce something, summon a Dragonmaid off its Graveyard effect, use the Dragonmaid effect, and then it's still the start of the battle phase, you can use the Tag Out effect, so you get a lot of value off Seal. So the Ash there is, I think, fine, considering just how much value the Dragonmaid deck can accrue off of that. But gonna set Tiding and Super Poly and just pass. We're gonna see the top deck be Ben 10, which is always good. So he only has one Drytron name, so actually Ash there would kind of be big. Ash and Nova would be big here. So let's see. Fafnir gonna go and search for a copy of not Delta, because that has to add spells or traps. Wait, I hope they don't let this go through. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that that is very much not a thing. I think he just thought a bit too far ahead. Kind of like back when people would terraforming for Alistair, that kind of thing. It happens to the best of us, you're thinking of your combo. But he's gonna search Nova, and Nova is gonna be ashed. And that is pretty big, because this hand has a lot of rituals without any Drytrons. And Meteorus has to tribute machines, so Manju getting Meteorus isn't going to be enough of a play here. Let's see what Manju ends up getting. Maybe it might be something else. It is going to be Meteorus, which is fine in the event that he draws a Drytron later, but right now it's not going to be doing a whole ton. Gonna enter battle phase, Manju will attack into the chamber. I think you definitely consider using the tiding here. It kind of sucks to bounce back Manju, but your hand also just doesn't have a play right now. And given the fact that your opponent just went into battle phase here without making other plays, it's clear they don't have Drytrons. So I think you just bounce these and then do your play next turn, because this can get a lot of value if it's just another normal summon. Right, so he is going to do tiding. He says it was an awful play. I don't think it's actually that bad. It looks bad, but I think it's actually fine. And then we're going to see Drytron just pass. So now Dragonmaid's in a pretty solid position, drawing another copy of Tiding for turn. That's quite nice. So he has this as a normal summon, plus the Tiding as a reborn. So he can get quite far here. Gonna normal summon the copy of Chamber. That's gonna search probably Hospitality, or you can get I guess the changeover as well since you have lower power. Gonna be picking up the changeover. Understandable since he already has a reborn engrave. Gonna change over right away actually. That's going to make a copy of Shao. This is their Omni Negate that floats into house. Tidying is going to bring back the chamber. And then just can go battle phase. Start the battle phase, the chamber can tag out for the lower power and graveyard. And this is 35 plus 27. And you can actually super poly for another copy of Shao here in the battle phase. That should be game. So yeah, 35, 27, super poly, pitch tiding. And that is it. So a very fast game too. Yeah, even though Dragonmaid didn't really have a whole ton of interruption, that Ash was good enough right there. So quite nice. And I do think that the tiding play in the battle phase ended up being clutch, even though it looked a little bit awkward, bouncing back Manju, but definitely the right play when you had game next turn. It didn't matter what he drew at that point. But we're going to now go into game 3, and we're going to see Drytron go first, yet again. So the opener for Drytron is going to be Zeta, Gamma, another Zeta, Dawn Knight, and Terraforming. So this hand has a lot of Drytrons in it. I mean, better to see more Drytrons than none, right? So I think that's a fine enough hand. Always sucks to draw this card, but you take what you can get. And then for Dragonmaid, we got Word Legacy Guard Dragon, Ghost Spell, Nurse, Tinkek, and Ash. So he also drew kind of some number of Garnets. This is like a one of most builds. And the big bosses are not what you want to draw. But Bell Ash could be good. Let's see how he times them. Main phase 1, we're going to see a Terraforming, add a copy of Fafnir. Fafnir going to be activated. That's going to grab Nova. Nova is not going to be ashed this time, which is interesting. I kind of wonder why Dragonmaid opted to ash last time here and not this time, because I don't believe any of the cards were known in that last game either, and there were quite a lot. There was like a Natasha and a Benten and like a Herald of Perfection and a Manji, I think. So there were like as many unknowns as there are here. So I kind of do wonder, right? Like, what's the logic behind ashing this sometimes, but not all the time? We'll be very curious to kind of figure out that logic there. But Alpha going to be linked away for Link Rebo, and then Zeta going to be attributed away for the Alpha. In this case, it ended up probably being fine to hold the Ash just because he had more Drytrons anyways. But granted, again, denying access to Alpha is also really good, so who knows. But the Alpha is going to be ashed in Grave. So no Ritual Monster Search. And that's big because no Benten just means no recycling. I think that's actually a fine point to ash because like you see them tributing this. It's possible that they're holding a Benten, however. But, I mean, you might as well take this chance to ensure that at least one avenue of Benten access is cut off. So I don't mind this play. I think this play is pretty good. And then for Zeta, it's going to tribute away the Gamma. But, that's going to get belled. So this is now very awkward for Drytron. I mean, this getting Meteona still wasn't going to do a ton just because there's literally no rituals at all in circulation. So, yeah. I mean, like, either way, stopping the Ash, whether it was by preventing Nova or just stopping the Ash or the Alpha directly. They say Ash, I meant using the Ash to stop the Alpha. But yeah, preventing the Alpha from grabbing the search, aka just preventing Benten from appearing at all. Very big. So now he has Gamma that he can use, but what's that really going to accomplish, right? Because it gets 2 more bodies, but it doesn't actually do a whole ton. It's going to set Dawn Knight and pass. Wow. So you guys can see, right? I mean, a lot of people are clamoring for Benton being limited, and this is kind of a good case as to why. Because without Benton, I mean, I don't think Benton should be hit like anytime like near or in the near future, just because this deck is still new, relatively speaking. But if you were to try to hit this deck, right, Benton's a pretty solid way to hit it because this deck without Benton just ends on this, right? I mean, granted, of course, we got hand trapped there, but people would have to deviate the build quite a lot in order to kind of mitigate that because Benton's just free advantage. But we're going to see the top deck here be Chamber, and that's the card that a Dragonmaid needed because the rest of this hand was not good. I mean, you could still make Seal with like the Nurse plus the World Legacy Guard Dragon, but it wouldn't have been pretty. So Chamber just makes things a lot more simple. So Chamber going to be normal summoned. That's going to search for a copy of Hospitality this time. So can go for like a big push. Linking away into Striker Dragon. Yeah, not playing Boot Sector, just linking it away. Makes sense. Hospitality going to summon the Nurse instead. And then this can send the Earth, the big one, Ernest or Ernst. I think Ernest is its name. I don't remember its name. Ernest, yeah. And now Nurse can bring back the Chamber, which is quite good. And then going to link away into Heretic Seal. And he has World Legacy Guard Dragon, so we can just go for Guard Dragon plays too. That's going to bring back the Nurse. And then we can go for double link ones, Pisty and LP. LP, dodge the ban list. Gonna summon out Parlor. That's going to send... I kind of want to see what he sends. Maybe he could send Changeover, since he has like the Tinkek and stuff. Or we could send Tiding. I'm not entirely sure what you do in this scenario. It's going to be Changeover, fair. So that can bounce the Parlor to vacate the zone, so Pissa can now be used. You gotta also use World Legacy Guard Dragon to move this, so let's see what he goes for. Gonna use the Changeover here. That's reasonable. Bouncing the Parlor back to hand. Pissy is now able to fire off. And that's gonna bring back the Chamber. So we're gonna use Changeover here to fuse away the Tinkek and the Parlor. That's gonna summon out Shao. Oh no, House. Okay, never mind. This one allows you to, let's see, target one of the Dragonmaid you control, special summon the Dragonmaid from your hand or graveyard defense, whose level is 1 higher, 1 lower, right? So that Samurai Phase effect is, I think, worse than Shao's, because if I remember correctly, Shao's just lets you reborn either, or like any Dragonmaid, I think. And then this one allows you to destroy cards, or monsters rather, when your dragon monsters get bounced. Okay, so I think the plan here is to Chamber, bounce itself, revive one of the Dragonmaids, and then the house can pop, and then just get in for some damage. I do wonder what the end board's going to be. There has to be some game plan here, because like Shao here would just be, like Seal Shao is just the end of the game most of the time. So we're going to go Chamber, because it's not going to be an OTK, so there has to be some other reason why this is here. Tinkek going to come out, and then House is going to pop the Dawn Knight. And now battle phase, we're going to see LP attack into the Link Rebo. Oh, Dawn Knight does trigger there, that's right. Because it was sent from Field to Grave, so that's going to send Delta. But again, just no rituals, so it's not really going to do a whole ton. LP is going to, attack the Link Rebo. Link Rebo will be used to make it 0. Then Pisty and Tinkek and House will get in for 6,700 damage, which is not bad. This is slightly too much damage, but we'll see if that ends up mattering. He's going to main phase 2. Oh, he's banished. Oh, he's making... Wait, don't tell me this is level 9. Oh, no. All right, he's going to make the Trish fusion and make VFD. I'm calling it right now. Oh, no. Oh, and you know what else, actually? This actually gets the bonus effect when you banish all dragons. So you can banish a card from your deck, the top card of their opponent's deck, and then one from the extra deck, and you get to look at it and choose. So that's good. You can get rid of, like, Zeus. And then you just overlay for VFD. Oh, you know what? I wonder if... Because I know in Shumping's Dragon Link build from last format, he was playing Tempest to search Crusadia Draco. I wonder if there's Tempest shenanigans here too, or if this is gonna be a random banish. But that searches Wind Dragon, so you can get Parlor off that. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, I did not think that this deck would make VFD, but I guess every deck makes VFD now, huh? That's crazy. Oh, there's a Tempest. Yeah, alright, it's super sick. So, let's see. Yeah, this adds any Wind Dragon. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, this adds Parlor. And then the top card here will get banished, and whatever card in the extra will get banished. But, yeah, VFD is going to be really hard to out in this case. Oh, the top card was Benten too. That would have been nasty. Gonna banish Nightingale. Maybe he's not playing the other rank one, the Kiki Nagashi Fucho. Maybe. But gonna make VFD, and Calling Light ends the game. So yeah, VFD Seal is really hard out. And the top deck is now going to be Ash Blossom. That is definitely not going to do it. And VFD activating Calling Light. And that is the end of the match right there. So Dragonmaid taking a 2-1 against Drytron here. Really, really solid stuff. And the cool thing always is that Seal can bounce the World Exit Guard Dragon as well. So this can just grab so many plays. We already had Nursing Grave, but like this can just grab more Dragonmaids, and then this would just get more follow-up for next turn. So yeah, this is crazy. I think Dragonmaid is a really cool deck right now, and it's interesting to kind of see players still mess around with it. Definitely very interesting to just see what the deck can do. Apparently, it also makes VFD. So add that to the checklist of decks that can make VFD as the campaign for getting this card banned continues to grow. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative and competitive video content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me via Patreon or TCG Player, all the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.